Hey everybody, I know it's been a hot minute since I made a video, but I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Christmas and New Year's. Wanted to make a tool video for a little while. I've been waiting on some tools from my Mac dealer. Anyway, I just got tired of waiting. I've got lots of tools here to show off. Not all of them are recent purchases. Some actually were ordered months and months ago and they finally showed up. And others I had at home and I decided to take to work. And I do have another request for you guys that watch the channel. If you have experience with, or if you've looked into, or you own in particular, either the Maximizer or the Jamestown 773 tool carts, the Mac or the Macko, I'm looking to upgrade from the Snap-on cart. I figure between that and the side locker, that'll allow me to eliminate the Husky box. So I'm looking to upgrade to one of those two. And I'd appreciate your opinions because I'm kind of like at a loss. The main things for me is I want a wider cart because I can't put like my long ratchet, and some of my wrenches in there. And then secondly, I want a much deeper bay at the top, or storage area at the top under the lid because I can't put my Mac pry bars in there and close the lid. So yeah, I appreciate your opinions on that. Now with all of that preamble, let's get into the actual tool. So it's going to be a bit of a long video, but I think if you love tools, you're going to enjoy every minute of it. So come along. All right, first up, and you probably saw this featured on CP, the Tool Addicts channel. When he got this, I was actually in the market for a bigger breaker bar and a larger torque wrench that could go up to 600 foot-pounds. So this actually fit both bills. And was just the perfect combination. And what's cool is they started making this this Precision Instruments case so that it actually fits the breaker bar and the ratchet portion all in one case. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So basically, it's a 3/4 inch, as you can see, made in USA. Everything Precision Instruments is USA. So it's a 3/4 inch torque wrench. And right there's the base of the wrench. And then this part right here that you're seeing up above it, that's the extension of the wrench. So the wrench itself goes out to like 4 feet or something like that. And then the back is actually an extendable breaker bar. So you can push that button in. You can push that button in and extend it from, I think like 31 to 42 inches or something like that. And then of course you got the ratcheting head over here. So it's a really nice 3/4 inch torque set and then also a breaker bar. And that ratchet is, if there's one ratchet that you don't have to worry about breaking, it's probably that one. Thing is heavy and just like a tank. Here's a tip, just go to tooldiscounter.com because they're the only ones that I've seen selling it with the breaker bar. On Amazon, they sell it with just the torque wrench, no breaker bar, and it's for more money. So you go to tooldiscounter.com and just look up the 3/4 inch, Precision Instruments torque wrench and breaker bar, and you'll find it there. Another thing that I really love about this is it's the split beam style. That is my favorite style to use because you can, let's see, see that? Yeah, it's a split beam style where you can leave it on a torque setting and you don't have to worry about it damaging it. It doesn't have like a spring that'll deform like the micrometer torque wrenches. So you can leave it at any torque setting and store it like that without worrying about it. This was actually sent to me to test out. And what I thought was cool about the reason I'm showing this in the video is because it seems like it has a really compact head for a right angle drill. It's the rigid version. It's got 2 settings, like 1 and 2. That's about it. Other than that, you just torque. You just tighten this on your bit and you go to town. I've noticed it doesn't click, but you just tighten it as much as you can, and I have not had an issue with like the drill binding up or catching or that coming loose. So yeah, even if you don't hear a click, don't worry about it. It works. Let's compare that to, I don't have a an 18 volt version, but I have the Milwaukee M12 drill down here. Let me get it out. Let's compare these two, see which ones. So yeah, as you can see, the rigid is very, very compact, even for an 18 volt tool. That's got to be the shortest battery powered right angle drill I've seen. Let's see, there's the part number. It's R87701. Okay, next up, I thought these were pretty cool. I actually got these at a pretty significant discount. It's just the icon version of the famous you know, extra long gear wrenches. So bear with me a minute. I'm going to take this out of the package. Okay, so here's what's awesome about these Icon versions of the, you know, of basically the double box end with the 0-degree offsets. So first of all, check out that offset. And then if you compare that to a traditional gear wrench, you can just see like kind of like the angle and the craftsmanship in there. It's really nice. And then also on this end, you've got the telltale sign that these are made by Cabo, which is a really good thing. And the heads are thinner than the gear wrench versions. In fact, yeah, and the Macko, and according to my Macko dealer, they're not gonna be carrying this specific style anymore. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I guess he heard or what he thought he heard. But anyway, they're replacing these with the basically like the 120 XP style. Now it's gonna have, I think, a Macko mechanism in it. Oh, and it may be, you know what? I think it's also made by Cabo. Yeah, so hold on 1 second. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so according to my dealer, if you warranty this style Macko, you're gonna get this style in place of it because they're not gonna offer that style anymore. And as you can see, it's got spline drive on that end and the spline drive on that end. And it does have the 0 offset right there. That's really thin. It's pretty cool. This is an 8mm. So if you look at it, it looks a lot like the 120 XP for gear wrench, but there's that screw. So this is actually made by Cabo as well. And like I said, he said these will be replacing those. So for at least from Matco. So this may actually be an Icon exclusive Cabo wrench set to compete with the gear wrench. I do have an SAE set here, so I can compare for you. Here is the there's a 3/4 inch gear wrench, and you can see the thickness of the head. Here's the mechanism. Pretty tight, very nice. No complaints. It's a great set. Don't use it very often because we don't do SAE here very often. So there's that. And now let's take a look at the Icon again. As you can see that just has that nice curve to it. I'm not really sure if that improves the performance, but it just looks really nice. It's a little bit thinner. I'm doing this with one hand, so I can't compare the two very easily. But let's see. Anyway, take my word for it. It's a little bit thinner on the head, and as you can see, you're looking at the gear wrench. Like, look how thin the profile is around that head on the Icon. So these are just super nice. They also feel a little bit nicer, and I think the beam is a little thicker. Regardless, these Icons are some of the nicest, you know, double box ratcheting wrenches I've ever held in my hand. Part number on these guys is, and you can find them at your local Harbor Freight, right there. WRDBM 10. All right, next up, I finally decided to give the Dewalt Extreme a try. So I picked up this battery, got a good deal on that. And then I grabbed this from Lowe's with the 20% coupon. This is the 3/8 impact wrench. This is the one that goes up to 400 foot-pounds breakaway. I think, what, 250 or something. Fastening. Yeah, whatever the stated performance is, it's basically the equivalent of the Milwaukee 3/8 stubby impact. So the part number on this guy is right there, DCF 903B. Let's pull it out of the box. All right, there it is. This is literally the first time it's out of even the packaging, so I get to experience it or you get to experience it as I experience it. So, pretty nice. Definitely got some kick to it. It'll be nice having that 5 amp hour battery. All of my DeWalt / Mac tools are actually the Mac tools with a 3 amp hour battery. So this is the first time I've had the 5 amp hour battery on this platform. But yeah, there's a couple things I really like about this. One is I kind of like the angle of the, you know, of the motor and the head, the drive end. So the Milwaukee's a little bit more, I think it's a little bit more of a slant. Hold on, I've got it right here. And this Milwaukee's been great. I got no issues with it. There's a couple things that I just like better about the Mac. The DeWalt. One thing is I kind of like this handle better. Like this fat handle on the Milwaukee Just feels a little bit strange to me. And then also just the way I guess my hand's kind of on the bigger side. I feel like I'm kind of up against the, you know, the business end here. It's not like the most comfortable position. And I'm more of a fan of kind of like the straight head versus the slant like that. So just from an ergonomic standpoint, like this feels like, and just the balance, like this feels like an improvement over the Milwaukee. Obviously the battery design is a little bit more robust. I hate these tabs, but the battery profile of the Milwaukee is very nice, especially when you got the 2 or 3 amp hour that fit the handle. But you know, if you want the max power, you got to go with the biggest battery. So yeah, I'm going to be using this at work, and I'm going to be taking that home. Now on to a specialty tool. We've got Lyle part number 39,000, which is the no-slip pulley puller installer. This is quite nice. This is quite a nice kit. I'm sure most of you guys that work, you know, professionally or even are high-powered DIYers have already seen this, have it in your shop, own it yourself. Anyway, I didn't have my own, so I wanted to get my own. The shop one's not quite as nice. Yeah, so it's a really nice set. And it works really well. There's plenty of videos showing, you know, this in use. All right, the next one is the Mac Rbrt Deep Extractor Set 3/8. So in a previous video you saw I had the, I've got the Matco, where is it? I've got the Macko, you know, 3/8 hex grip set. So basically that's your shallows. And what I like about the Macko over the Mac for that, because I think they both work fairly similar, is that the Macko doesn't have that like fat hex at the base, and the sockets are just thinner, so you can actually get them into tighter areas. But you know, for the deeps, it doesn't matter so much, and it seems like these aren't quite as fat as the shallows. Anyway, I'll show you when I pull it out of the bag. I don't know, maybe they are as thick as the shallows at the base. I'm not sure. They are heavy. They're heavy as all get out. This the magnetic tray is nice for once it's situated, but be careful, don't carry these things around on the tray because they'll all end up on the floor. But yeah, anyway, these seem, I think they're a little bit more useful than the shallows, just because you got that nice long extension there before you run into these kind of large you know, hexes at the base. So they're more like your traditional sockets with a flare out at the bottom. As you can say, they're a little bit thick, but anyway, they just work extremely well. Part number, it's a mouthful. There it is. Okay, so this set right here prompted a bigger thing, which I'll talk about in a second. We'll probably start with that out of the big box. You know, in fact, let's cover these first, and then I'll go into that because it's kind of like a whole theme there. All right, so this basically is the if you've seen the Matco version of the hose grip pliers. They're pretty much the nicest ones on the market. Snap-on, Mac, etc. are like rebranded. You know, they're Blue Point, not Snap-on. They're Chinese, more or less. The Knipex, they're supposed to be for spark plugs. They're just like this, but they only go about, you know, this far, you know, about 8 inches. So this is actually the Carlisle version of that Macko set. I'm almost certain it's the same OEM. As you can see, it has like the really well done cross hatching, and it looks identical. And these are usually pretty expensive, but they've been on sale for about $115. And if you're in the rewards program, you can get more money off, like $5 to $10. So I actually paid, you know, $110 for this set. And you get the 3 different sizes. And yeah, it's basically, as far as I can tell, identical to the Mackos. They're made in Taiwan. They're made really well. No complaints there. Let's see if I can find a part number. Oh yeah, right there. If you can read that upside down, PSHG3. That's the part number for those. Pick them up at your local Napa. Okay, the big box full of tools. So first of all, here's a Tekton wrench rack. These are actually made in USA. A little dirty, dusty, because it's been sitting in my sitting at home for a while. But there's made in USA right there. Pretty nice. So I've got some ideas about what I'm going to do with that, because I got some new wrenches to show you. All right, but first we're going to go over why I bought this Snap-on set. Well, first of all, it was a BOGO. I think it was like $299, and usually just the shallows are like over 300 or something, or maybe it's the deeps. I don't remember, but it was a BOGO deal for $299, and you also got like a rebate if you traded in your old sockets. So it was a killer deal, and it actually prompted an idea for me to to turn a little profit, actually, to make money off of selling tools, which is what I'm going to go into next. All right, so you can get a wider shot here. So what you see before you is 2 Hansen trays and a Snap-on tray, which is rebranded Hansen, but lifetime warranty. I don't know about these, but Snap-on warranties their trays, which is cool. And I got a 1/4-inch Snap-on tray coming, basically to match the 3/8. And both of these I got off of JB Tools for like a total of 15 bucks. So pretty awesome deal. So here's the one thing not so awesome. This is USA Craft. This is an old USA Craftsman socket. It doesn't fit on the 1/4-inch peg. It's the only one that's a troublemaker. But you know, whatever. So the story behind these is I saw this BOGO deal on the Snap-on truck, and I got to thinking. I was like, well, I do use 1/4-inch, you know, metric chrome from time to time. Although I've been mostly getting by with the mid deeps, you know, not even touching the shallowers or deeps. And last year, at some point, Mac Tools ran this promotion where if you bought the 3/8 USA master socket set, which has, you know, metric and shallow, metric and SAE, shallow and deep. It has the low tooth count ratchet, but made in USA. And then it has extensions and a universal joint. And it comes in a blow molded case, a red blow molded case. Looks super cool. You know, just it looks awesome. It's eye candy. So if you bought the 3/8, you got the 1/4-inch for free. So basically you got $1,200 worth of sockets for 700 bucks. I thought that was pretty neat and that it would save me space. So I actually did that deal. And I put those 2 blow molded cases over there in that Husky box, and I never opened them within a year. So what I've decided to do is kind of bring back my old chrome sockets. Like I've got Craftsman, probably some Williams, some even some Wright tool. Like it's an eclectic, mostly USA made collection there, except for when you get into the 1/4-inch shallows, because this is like Husky, this is Gear Wrench, this is actually USA Craftsman. And then there's a Chinese Craftsman down over here, 5/32 you can't see. But basically I decided I'm gonna just bring in my sockets from home, sell the Mac tool sets, you know, on eBay. And let's move on. Let's take a quick peek at this Snap-on set, this box here. It's pretty cool. Usually, you know, I'm used to seeing the ones like in their cellophane wrappers sitting separate, but we got a box. And looks like that's pretty much what you see on the tool truck. Both of them just sitting in there in the box, which is cool. So when I get my Snap-on 1/4-inch tray, which will look just like the 3/8 there, they will go on there along with my mid deeps. All right, so moving on. Okay, let's see what we got in the box here. All right, these actually aren't made by this company. I'm just using this rail, but basically these are kind of your, you know, your budget spline drive sockets, like 3/8. I've had a set in 1/4-inch. Actually, it's over here because I'm rearranging stuff. Where to put it? Oh yeah, I've had that Craftsman set for probably like 5 or 6 years, and man, like they actually, sometimes they'll take a bolt off, even when an extractor won't. They're just really handy. So I decided to grab a 3/8 set. This was like, I don't know, 20 bucks off of eBay. Actually made in Taiwan. Yeah, so they seem fairly nice. It's almost a complete set. I have some other sockets in another box that I actually forgot to bring. Was supposed to be part of this tool haul. Not a huge box, a small box. All right, so this isn't really anything. I sold my Vantage Pro because I've got the Zeus, you know, which has a scope in it. So I sold my Vantage Pro for like 650 bucks on eBay, and I had some like extra. You know, some extra leads and yeah, leads, test drive, test lead, blah, 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 whatever. Had some extra leads, like leads, a thermometer, some of those like stackable connectors and stuff. So I just threw all that in a bag. I don't know if I'll need it or not. I've got enough of those at this point that I'm drowning in them. All right, so the next thing, just to make our lives a little easier here at work, we don't have one to my knowledge. So I picked one up. This is the, if I can get it out of the, there we go. This is the Lyle 19mm harmonic balancer socket, 77080. So this is the weighted socket. You know, and sometimes even if you don't use it on a harmonic balancer, just having that weighted socket that extra impacts can speed things up. So seemed like a reasonable purchase. It was in the $25 range if I can get it out of the packaging. Ow, Jesus. It is weighted. Come on, come out of there. Whew. Yeah, it's like deceptively heavy. I mean, I don't know what's deceptive about it. It's a thick piece of metal, but you know, when you pick, you expect a socket to weigh a certain amount, and then you pick this thing up, and it is heavy. So yeah, pretty basic. It's a Lyle tool. Has their typical warranty, which is cool. Yeah, that's that. I think you saw the part number. Next up, the Easy Red quarter stick bit driver. This is pretty ubiquitous. I think everybody's got one by now. There's the part number 4S12L, 4S12L. Very nice. I had that gear wrench one. I actually took that home and kept it with the rest of the kit. I kind of like, I don't know, I just like the feel of the Easy Red a little bit better. I've always wanted one of these. For a while I've been using like a Matco that's about the same length, but it has no swivel. So yeah, that's that. All right, the next thing is really cool is these wrenches. So let me get these set up and then we'll start talking about it. Okay, first up, angle wrenches. Now for the smaller sizes, which would be 10 to 17, I went with Snap-on. And these are actually the Flank Drive Plus. Again, got a really good deal on them. And then I filled in the gaps with Tekton made in USA. So these just looked a little bit nicer to me than the Capri, even though they don't have the teeth. But anyway, there's a 16 millimeter. There's a 16 millimeter Tekton. There's a, see if you can compare it. There's like a 17 millimeter Snap-on. They roughly adhere to the same lengths. I got and again, the Tektons are all made in USA, by the way, also. So we've got 16, 18, 19, 21, and I think 22. Yeah, that pretty much completes that set. So, all right, now this other set I've been waiting on for a long time, like almost close to a year, and I've tried to order it several times, unsuccessfully, from Amazon UK, because I think, you know, basically with the worldwide shipping issues due to COVID and just people staying at home and ordering stuff online. This is the Stavilla. All right. So basically this is your 75-degree offset wrenches. And these things are just beautiful. That's a 2022. And they have, like, the price I paid for these was like around $60. Like, no joke. For some reason, Amazon UK just has insane prices on stuff like this every once in a while. They do sell out, but they usually get it back in stock. And so I tried to order this 3 times, and the third time it finally delivered. Ecstatic about that. And these are just, I have the SK set, but the SK is like, they're only about half the length of these. They're kind of like stubbies, so I decided to go with this set. And this is the Stavilla 28, so you get 8 of these. And I don't remember what this, I think this is the smallest one right here. I think it's like 8 and 10. Oh, 7 and 9. Okay, so wow, it goes all the way down to 7. I don't think it has a 6. Pretty sure that's it. And the 8 and 10 should be in here somewhere. It's probably this. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, 8 and 9. That's interesting. 8 and 9. Does that say 7 and 9 or? Oh, wait. No, you know what? This is 6 and 7. Okay, so it does go down to 6. My bad. 6 and 7. Yeah, so it goes from 6 to 20. And I don't. Oh, it does. No, it doesn't have a skip, actually. I'm pretty sure. Oh, no. You know what? I'm sorry. It goes 6 to 22 and it skips 21 for some reason. Seems kind of crazy to me, but yeah, so what I didn't even open this yet. Oh my goodness. So I got the 2123 from Capri Tools, you know, which is really not expensive. And actually, I think the Capri's a little bit longer than the Stavilla. But anyway, the Capri's very nice as well. So I got the 2123 from them. And I actually have directly from Germany coming a Hazette 2427 to complete the set. And once again, I got a great deal on that from Hand Tools from Germany. That's shipping directly from Germany. It'll take a while to show up, but that'll complete the set. So yeah, so I think the Capri fits in nicely with these. It's full polished chrome, so it does look a little different, but It's 75-degree offset, just really well made. And you know, if you want to go that route, go with the Capris. But I just think these Stavillas for wrenches, they're hard to beat. I really love their wrenches. Something I forgot to mention. So I decided to use this tray with the angle head wrenches. The offset wrenches don't fit right. Something to mention here is if you get angle head wrenches, make sure you get 30-60, because if you get 15-60, you're just wasting a side, because 15 degrees is your typical combination wrench offset. Well, if you guys want to see how I laid out the wrench drawer, we got the new angle wrenches here. I've got some of my longer, you know, box end and offset ratcheting wrenches back there, and some miscellaneous ratcheting wrenches larger. This is the Stavilla set that I was talking about. They're supposed to be normal wrenches, but they're actually super thin, so I use them that way. They've been featured in a former video. That has that same story, it's thin. Those are the SKs that I had. This is a new Stavilla set, and I'm waiting for the one Hazette to go up there. And then, where is it? This is the Capri. So it fits in quite nicely. And then I've got my Carlisle thin wrenches. And I did actually, this is actually a recent pickup too. I didn't really talk about it, but these are the semi-deep snap-ons from 10 to 18. I actually had a deep set that I never really used, because I found that like every time I could have used the deep swivel set, I could simply use a swivel adapter with a deep socket. However, I have run into a few times in the over the last year where I couldn't use the shallow swivel socket because it was just too shallow, and I couldn't use a mid-length socket with the swivel adapter because that combination was too long. So these would have been perfect. So I ended up trading in my deep swivel set for this mid-deep set. And actually, this just showed up. It was one back order or whatever. It just showed up last Monday, so I even hadn't a chance to use these or figure out where to stick them. So they're in there for now. All right, so next up is the snap-on adapter set. So what's unfortunate is I actually forgot a small box that was supposed to be part of this haul, which had the Williams version of this set. And the reason I got the snap-on and the Williams was because the Williams appears to be impact, you know, whereas these are not. You know, I have other adapters, but I wanted to get more organized, and I like the way Snap-on organizes their adapters. Plus, I've heard great things about these. Now, the reason I ordered the Williams is because they're not very expensive, and you know, it's kind of a nice, you know, backup set or whatever, and they're a little bit different. So with the Williams, they claim these three are impact, you know, where the Snap-on claims that none of these are impact. And then the three smaller Williams, they claim are non-impact, but they look like impacts. All right, as promised, this is the rest of my tool haul that I couldn't do at work. So here's the Williams set. It comes on one of these cheap rails. It'd be nice if it came in something like this. But we've already compared these two. Here's the snap-on. That's the 3/4 to half. And that's not impact rated. This is the Williams. This thing looks like it's used, but it wasn't. This one's showed up in much better shape. But whatever, you know, it's built to last a lifetime, and it'll take a beating. See, it's got the little pin there, and it's got the hole going all the way through, and it's got this band for, you know, for basically a ring to secure along with the pin. Now, when I say pin, it's like, here's an example of an impact pin. This one's made by Proto, and basically it'll go through the anvil, and then also through this hole right here. See? And here's actually an example, you know, of this is impact rated. This is the Williams version with the hole right there, which a pin can go through. Kind of hard to do one-handed, but I think you get the point. So that'll go through the socket, through there. And anyway, this is impact rated. So take a close look. See, it says impact, all USA, which is cool. Now let's compare that to the snap-on. At least it looks and feels identical, except for this thing has a pin in it. It doesn't have a hole going through the middle of it. See, they're a little bit different. They're a little bit different. Now, whether this is actually impact material or not, I don't know. It's just they feel and look so similar that it's hard to really say that this is not impact rated. I mean, it does feel, you know, again, that's just the surface finish. They can finish it with anything, but yeah, this seems like the same tool, just with a hole in it. So impact, non-impact. All right, now the next one's a little bit more obvious. So here's the Williams version with a pin, and here's the Snap-on version with a, you know, with a ball. So the Williams says impact, and the Snap-on version, which otherwise looks identical, clearly says if you can read that, it's all greased up from the factory, non-impact. So there's that. All right, then the last one in this, actually that was the last one in this series, sorry. Anyway, then it becomes a little bit more. So now this Williams says not impact as well, and that could be just a chrome socket with a different finish, with an industrial finish. I don't know, but it's clearly Snap-on's chrome. They look very similar, but I don't know. This may very well be made like the other impacts, at least the Williams. Let's just say it's going to get treated like that. So yeah, anyway, here's the Williams and the Snap-on, which at this point they're basically identical. And they both say non-impact. And then finally, you've got this Williams, which honestly feels like an impact, but says non-impact. And then you've got the Snap-on version here, which is actually in chrome. You know, clearly not impact. So, whatever. I think, you know, people using these for impact use, I don't think you're going to get in any trouble whatsoever. You know, just know that this style will not release the socket or the extension. This style may. You may have them falling off or coming off while you're using them. But so be it. Otherwise, you got to get extra stuff like these pins to make it work. A couple other things I forgot about. I did, to get free shipping, I threw this. This is kind of cool. It's a Williams flexible extension made in USA. Pretty nice. By the way, this is the Mac. This is the Mac Rbrt. You know, external, or the socket style extractor. This is the only 1/4 inch that I have. I just bought it individually. I did have to buy this little rod separately because it didn't come with it. I thought it did, but it didn't. And anyway, this one, I think I have it. Yeah, this is the one that goes with that 3/8 set that I showed earlier in the video that, again, was in this box that I forgot to take to work. And I've got a few other extra spline sockets that are supposed to go with that other set. I did notice one other difference between these two, which is the 1/2 inch to 3/8 reducer between the impact rated Williams and the non-impact rated Snap-on. So in addition to the ball detent, the Snap-on does not have a hole, you know, to connect to the detent on the anvil, the tool you're using, whereas the Williams does. So obviously that's very typical for impact. Not having one is typical for non-impact. And then I also noticed that neither of them have it on the 3/8 to 1/4 inch, which, you know, in both cases they claim for that to be non-impact. And the Williams 1/4 to 3/8 does have the hole in it, actually, as opposed to the, you know, the grooves cut into it. This was a short from Nuts and Bolts with Tone. This was his idea. I guess he found these on a Macko truck. I saw the Macko price was like $70. Straight up Knipex was like in the 20s. And these are just double bent pliers. They look super useful, so I decided to add these to my collection and put them in the drawer. They got that really nice diamond pattern on them. But yeah, I mean, just look at that. Look at that angle. You can get up into some areas you can't get with anything else. Thought that was pretty awesome, so added those to the other stuff I bought was the 29-piece Mac drill bit set. I have the, as you can see, I've got the Hyperstep bits, Macko bits next to it. But, you know, they warranty all of these, and it's nice to have a good backup set. And in some cases, you don't want to use the Hyperstep because, you know, again, you have to go all the way through, so it actually sticks out further than a typical drill bit by the time you're done drilling the hole. And if there's something behind it, then, you know, you can run into trouble there. So sometimes these drill bits take the cake. And also the hyperstep bits are mechanics length, and these are jobber length. So you've got different lengths to go with. And again, just the ease of warranty, I think over time makes these worthwhile. Okay, I think this is a cool one. This is from Northern Tool, and what it is it's a large metric tap and die set. So this will actually go all the way up to the you know, like say as big as like an oxygen sensor socket, you know, port, as well as some of your other sensor sockets. And so, you know, if there's a chance to kind of retap those threads and repair them, like this set is big enough to handle it. I looked at like the easy, you know, what the hell do you call those things? The helicoils. It seems like they're just kind of like all over the place and not always easy to find. So I figured one set, one master set. When you get into those bigger sizes, it doesn't have to be the highest quality. You just got to go slow and be patient. As long as the threads are straight on the tap or the die, you know, you can get the job done. So this is a direct competitor to the Harbor Freight. The Harbor Freight has one advantage: it's a lifetime warranty. But on the flip side, this just seems to be better made. So let me pull this out and show you. I'm kind of holding this above my head a little bit, but so first up, the Harbor Freight doesn't come in this nifty metal case. I give them credit for that. And then yeah, let's get that loose. It's actually a pretty nice case. So you open that up, and you've got your layout there to kind of help you to locate whatever you're looking for. And there's the set. So you almost need that Harbor Freight. I can't remember if it's Pittsburgh or what they brand it under, but you almost need that other set here to compare. But this is just, if you compare these piece to piece, these just look better made. So there's an M20 by, you know what, let's grab an M18 by 1.5, because that, anyone who deals with oxygen sensors and catalytic converters and their rust belt can appreciate that size. Where is it? So we get 20, that's the adapter, M16, M15, oh, M18, there it is. M18 times 1.5, there's the die. Pretty nice, you know, not bad. I mean, it is China. I greased it up to protect it, but yeah, it is. I mean, they are made in China, but they're half decent. They've got a 1-year warranty, unlike the Harbor Freight. That's the only downside. But, you know, hey, you break one of these, maybe I'll replace it with something a little fancier. And I still have the tray to organize everything. So, but I think these will hold up pretty well. I've seen other people use them. I've seen people use the Harbor Freights to success. So yeah, so there's the tap and the threads are nice. They're sharp. It's cut well. Okay, next up is the OTC part number 5610 transmission engine oil pressure kit. I did not own one of these kits. It's basically the only pressure tester that I didn't own. So I wanted to get my own version. Again, a little bit nicer than what the shop's got. So there's a kind of a list of some of the parts that it comes with. And the OTC was just a really good deal. I got this at a great price. You can see it's got the hoses down there. What's nice about this kit is it actually has 2 pressure gauges. So this one goes up to 100 PSI, and I think this one goes up to 400. Yeah, 400 PSI. Really nice. And they also have the hooks at the top, you know, so you can hang them. Has some, you know, some nice adapters and connectors, and you got storage space for anything you want to add. So I just thought it was a really nice kit, nice layout. I got this from Zorro. Sometimes you can find it on Amazon, but the Zorro price is really excellent, especially if you have a coupon. Like, you can get this for around $50, which is in line with the cheaper ones. So why not get one of the best? Another thing I picked up is we actually got a couple of these, because as soon as I bought this, AutoZone came around with a promotion where if you, let me pull this out first, then it'll make more sense what I'm about to say. Yeah, so I got the Autel Maxi TPMS TS508, and you know, what's nice is it has the little cradle there for connecting your Autel Maxi TPMS sensors, or TPM sensors. I guess the S is redundant. But yeah, anyway, I really like the Autel version of the TPMS sensors. They you know, they're open source, although of course, you know, they work seamlessly with an Autel tool, but they are open source, you know, which is really nice. And they just work phenomenally well. And then also they're affordable typically. Like the deal we got was, and this is after I bought this. As soon as I bought this, within a week or two, AutoZone came out with this promotion where you got like 20, I think, of their the Autel sensors, you know, TPMS sensors and valve stem, you know, assemblies, I guess you'd call it. And and that was $450, so that's $22.50 per you know, per sensor, which is actually a really good price. We went with we like the rubber ones typically. Some things require steel, but for the most part, or metal, we prefer the rubber. But anyway, if you bought that, the 20 sensors for $450, you got one of these for free. So the shop now has one of these, an updated version. We had an old version without the cradle, which also still works. So I updated that recently. But now we got two of these new ones in the shop, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so they're called MX sensors, or one sensor. You know, sometimes you'll see the part numbers like one sensor if you're trying to find these online, but you can get them from Advanced Auto Parts, AutoZone, et cetera, et cetera. A few things I really like about these sensors. So one, this particular version is programmable, and you can select the frequency. So it covers both 315 and 433 megahertz. If you have that tool, if you have this tool or one of the Autel tools, working with these things is seamless. It's super easy. But again, even if you don't, these are programmable. There's a process you have to go through to activate them. It's not as easy as using the Autel tool, but it's still pretty easy. You can drop one of these in there, or you can just put it in the vicinity of it, and you can program something like up to 15 of these at the same time. So you can actually assign IDs. You can port the ID over from your vehicle. You can update with that tool. You can update the car's computer, you know, with that tool. I tend to just use my scan tool to do that, but you know, you've got options, and these things seem to hold up really well. They work really well. You can get them with the, you know, with the metal core valve stem or the rubber, so you can go either direction there. All right, next up, this is one of those, like, you see it and it was an impulse purchase. So what these are is, it's a brand new Snap-on product. It is their super small flush cuts, but I think it's got a little spring in there because it pushes itself out. It's pretty cool. But it's extended length, extended handle. That just seems so useful. It's very narrow too. So in addition to the you know, the blade or the cutting edge being fairly, you know, narrow or low profile, so you can get it in there, so is the handle. The way it's designed is just super useful. And I got those because the ones I typically use are these Matco / Knipex. And so maybe from now on we'll call these Knipcos. Like Knipex Matcos. We'll just call them Knipcos from now on. So the Knipcos, they have more of a traditional size, you know, cutter on the end, even though they are flush cuts. So in some instances, there's, you know, they're a little too bulky to use. And I was using like a mini pair. But I saw the Snap-ons, they were on sale, brand new product. And my dealer had like one pair left. So that's how popular they were by the time he got to me. And I was like, yeah, I'll take them. And there's the part number. I'm not even sure if these are available on the website yet, but you can see it right there, PL88145A, and something below it like 13 weirdly shaped B. I don't know what the hell that is. Oh yeah, totally forgot. I also picked up the Mac Tools version of the your screw extractor. So these are the ones with like the little sleeves. And I think, you know, there's been plenty of videos on these, but bottom line is you stay little fella. All right. So the bottom line is you they've got the, you know, like the straight flutes on the end, so you hammer that in there. You you know, you do your extraction, and then when you're done, you just use this little thing. Oh, going the wrong way. You use this to push off the you know, the damaged fastener from it, so it gets rid of it. That's another thing about these Mac Tools extractor sockets, is they're actually threaded in there And they come with a kind of like a forcing screw that when you get your fastener stuck in there, and anybody that's extracted a fastener knows, they get pretty well stuck. Unlike the Matkos where you have a little pin, or you can use a pin punch or whatever, and you can hammer them out. These actually have a screw similar to these, whereas that's like a sleeve on the outside. These have a screw that goes through the inside, and you can push the the damaged fastener right out through the end of it, and it works really well. All right, a couple more cool tool purchases I almost forgot about. This is the Snap-on 7 through 15 no skip extra deep sockets. You may have recalled in a previous tool haul, I went over the Vim version of these, which appears the Macko as a rebrand. Now, I actually traded that set in for this set when this set was on sale on a promo. And the reason I did so was twofold. Number one, this is a complete set. That is not. The Macko is as well. But number two, these are actually 4.5 inches deep or long. So they actually have a 4-inch working area, in which you can have a stud or, basically a bolt go in there and still be able to get to the nut that you want to get off. Or reach into that, reach deep into that area where you need to get that, that fastener off. So again, these are 4.5 inches deep. The Macko / Vims are 4 inches deep. So these actually have a 4-inch working area, before you run into the anvil. Those have a 3.5 inch working area. So there are some scenarios where these will work, those will not. And the price was right, and what he gave me for that Vim set was right. So I upgraded to this Snap-on set. All right, one of the coolest pickups is the Flir TG275. It's my first thermal imager. And I went with this over the Snap-on and the Macko because, let's see if we can get something to kind of get some contrast. So yeah, you can see it's like it's a super high res. Oh. Camera. We don't have a lot of variance in heat here, so it's hard to, but anyway, here's the laser pointer. See that on the wall? It's kind of cool. That's your target. It has temperature. You can turn it this way and get like a, kind of more of your 16:9 aspect ratio type thing. 4:3, 3:2, whatever the hell it is. But anyway, really cool tool. So this is specifically made for automotive. And the the number of pixels, just the image resolution, and also the processing just seemed to beat the Snap-on and the Macko, so I decided to go with this. Plus, it was quite a bit cheaper. It's not cheap, but I think this was like around $600. And I almost forgot. I picked up the Macko non-slip sockets. So we've got 10 through 19 in the 3/8 and 5 through 15 in the 1/4 inch. And yeah, sadly in my area, we didn't have that deal. So I actually bought the 1/4 inch before the 3/8 from my Matco dealer. I wish we had that deal where if you bought the 3/8, you got the 1/4 inch. But initially I bought the 1/4 inch and really liked them. They kind of take the place of extractors to an extent. And I didn't really have, that many deep, like 1/4 inch extractors, but they'll remove, they say, up to like 70% rounded bolts. Now, a few other features that are unique to these guys are, they have kind of like a 6-point version of like a spline drive, but they're not spline, spline is like a 12-point, but it's somewhat similar in concept. However, these, when you can use these and a spline drive, these, are reported to work quite a bit better. Another unique feature of these is they're thin, but they're impact rated. So you can actually use these in place of chrome and impact sockets. You can use them as regular sockets as well as, more or less up to 70% rounded extractors. You can also use them for external torques, and you can use them as tap sockets. All right, that concludes my Christmas 2021 tool haul. But with that, I hope you guys had a great Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful New Year. I hope you stay happy and, most important, healthy through 2022. And I'll be talking to you again soon.